What if I told you that the real estate deal with the best cash flow could actually make you the least amount of money? And the deal that looks terrible today could quietly create millions in wealth over the next decade. That's because almost every investor is judging deals with the wrong metric. Some obsess over cash flow, some chase appreciation, and others throw around the IRR to sound sophisticated, but almost nobody understands, when each one actually matters. And that's exactly why two people can look at the same exact property, one walks away while the other retires early because of it. Today, I'm going to show you the simple framework institutional investors use to evaluate every deal. And by the end of this video, you'll know why cash flow can lie to you, why appreciation is mostly a prediction, why RRR is so powerful, but it can also be manipulated. And the one question I ask before investing a single dollar. No finance degree, no complicated spreadsheets, just a simple way to know whether you're looking at a wealth building investment or an expensive distraction. Because once you understand these three numbers, you'll never analyze a real estate deal the same way again. That means two investors who understand this will win, and the ones who don't are gonna get left behind. So let's get into it. If you've ever looked at a real estate deal, felt completely overwhelmed by the numbers, and still couldn't tell whether it was actually a good investment, then this video is going to change that for you today. Because here's the problem. Most people focus on one number. Maybe it's the monthly cash flow. Maybe it's how much the property might go up in value. And a few people have heard of something called IRR, but they have no idea what it actually means or why it matters. And that confusion, it can cost people a lot of money. This video is specifically for you if you're a busy professional, a doctor, attorney, an engineer, business owner, someone with a strong income but limited time, and a genuine desire to build long-term passive wealth through real estate without becoming a full-time landlord. You don't need to run complex formulas. You just need to understand how money moves inside of a deal. That's it. Now, let's bust two myths that are costing investors money right now. Myth number one. So, cash flow is the only number that matters. And you've heard this everywhere. If it doesn't cash flow on day one, don't touch it. And while cash flow absolutely matters, investors who only chase it often end up in lower growth markets with properties that plateau. The income is real, but the long-term wealth creation is slow. White Coat Investors research in 2026 is very direct about this. Equity and appreciation are often the most significant component of a residential real estate return. And chasing pure yield at the expense of quality can actually limit your upside. Myth two, appreciation is just gambling. It's not. Appreciation follows fundamentals: population growth, job creation, housing supply, and infrastructure. JLL's Global Real Estate Perspective from May 2026 confirms that direct global transaction volumes rose 18% in Q1 of 2026 alone, driven by strong investor conviction in markets with solid fundamentals. That's not a coin flip. That's capital following data. But here's the real framework. Think of every real estate investment as having three engines running simultaneously. Engine one is cash flow. This is the money left over every single month after you've paid mortgage, taxes, insurance, and all operating expenses. It's your monthly paycheck from the property. It keeps you in the game. It covers the unexpected. It's real income you can use right now. Engine two is appreciation. This is the increase in the property's value over time. Builds your net worth quietly in the background. It's the reason a property worth $400,000 today might be worth $600,000 or more in 10 years. And when you sell or refinance, that equity becomes real, spendable, life-changing wealth. Engine three is IRR, internal rate of return. This is the most misunderstood metric in all of real estate. IRR is not a monthly number. It's not a property value. It's a single percentage that captures everything: your cash flow over time, your appreciation at sale, your mortgage pay down, and critically, the timing of when that money came back to you. The simplest way to think about IRR is this. It answers one question. If I put my money into this deal today, what annualized return am I earning on every dollar across the entire life of this investment? It's a number that lets you compare real estate to the stock market, to bonds, to anything, apples to apples. According to BiggerPockets community data and deal analysis, a 10 to 12% IRR is considered solid for a long-term individual hold. For passive syndication, mid-teens, 14 to 16% is the range that serious operators target to attract investor capital. Whitecoat's 2026 partner listing confirms this, with current offerings showing target IRRs around 15% for well-structured industrial and multifamily deals. Let me make this concrete with two real-world examples. Same amount of money invested, very different outcomes. Deal A, the pure cash flow play. You buy a duplex in a stable Midwest market for about $280,000. You put 25% down, that's $70,000. The property generates $450 a month in net cash flow after all expenses. That's a strong cash on cash return. The neighborhood is steady, but not growing. Over 10 years, the property appreciates at roughly 2% per year. You sell it for around $341,000. When you run the full IRR, factoring in your cash flow, your mortgage pay down, and your sale proceeds, you land at approximately 9 to 10%. Steady, predictable, respectable. Deal B, the balance play. You invest that same $70,000 as a passive investor in a multifamily syndication in a high demand market. CBRE's 2026 outlook confirms that multifamily is expected to see positive net demand throughout the year, with cap rate compression of 5 to 15 basis points in quality assets. Cash flow in year one is modest on your share, maybe $150 to $200 a month equivalent, but the operator executes a value add strategy. Rents grow, the asset appreciates at 4 to 5% annually. When the property sells at year 5, your equity multiple is 1.7 times. Your IRR, 14 to 16%. Same capital in. Dramatically different outcome. And here's the critical insight, the step most new investors completely skip. Before you can evaluate IRR, you must first understand cash flow, because a deal with zero cash flow cannot survive long enough to realize its appreciation. Cash flow is what keeps the engine running. Step one is always confirming the deal can breathe on its own. Step two is projecting appreciation based on real market data. And step three is running the IRR to see the full picture. BiggerPockets forum analysis puts it perfectly. Investors who evaluate deals on cash alone are leaving serious money on the table. A property with a slightly negative cash flow of negative $50 per month in year one can still produce a 14% IRR over 10 years if appreciation is strong enough and the fundamentals are right. IRR is the only metric that shows you that. Now, let me handle the questions I know are already forming in your head. What if appreciation doesn't happen? And that is a completely fair question. Appreciation is never guaranteed. That's exactly why you don't bet the whole deal on it. You underwrite conservatively. You target markets with real supply constraints, population growth, and strong employment drivers. JLL's 2026 Global Outlook confirms that new supply is declining across most commercial real estate sectors in North America and Europe this year. Less supply plus sustained demand equals upward pressure on values. It's not a guarantee, but it's a data-backed thesis, not a wild guess. What if I need income right now and I can't wait for this appreciation? Then cash flow is your primary filter, and that's completely valid. Many investors, especially those approaching or in retirement, need that monthly income. The good news is that you don't have to choose one or the other. The best deals in 2026 offer both modest current income plus long-term appreciation potential. And CBRE explicitly states that in this cycle, total returns will be income-driven. That means quality assets and strong markets can deliver both engines at once. Is IRR too complicated for a regular investor? No, you don't need to calculate it yourself. Any reputable operator or syndicator will present it clearly in their deal summary. Your job, though, is simply to understand what it means and what a reasonable target looks like. Below 10%, you can probably do better in a diversified index fund. Above 18%, ask harder questions. The assumptions may be a little too aggressive. The 12 to 16% is where disciplined, conservative real estate investing lives. Here's the vision I want you to hold on to. Imagine 5 years from now. You've made 2 or 3 well underwritten investments. One is producing steady monthly cash flow. One has already appreciated and returned capital to you. Your overall portfolio's IRR is sitting at 13 to 14%, quietly compounding in the background while you are fully focused on your career, your family, and the life you've built. That's not a fantasy. That's what conservative, long-term, passive real estate investing actually looks like when you understand all 3 metrics and use them together. If you apply this framework, evaluate cash flow first, underwrite appreciation conservatively using real data, and always check the full IRR, then with every deal that you look at, you're going to make dramatically better decisions for you, your family, and your investment portfolio. Now, if this video clicked for you, if you're thinking, I actually want to start doing this the right way, here's your next step. Go to rei.com. I've put together 2 free ebooks that you can download right now that go deeper on everything that we covered today. How to evaluate deals, which metrics actually matter, and how to think about real estate as a long-term wealth vehicle built for busy professionals. And beyond those 2 free ebooks, there's a free 9-part passive investing masterclass that I created for you, completely free. I'm going to walk you through the exact framework that experienced investors use to build long-term passive income through real estate, step by step in plain English with real numbers. This was built specifically for people like you, doctors, attorneys, engineers, small business owners, professionals with a strong income and limited time who want conservative, long-term passive returns without ever dealing with tenants, toilets, or the thought of becoming a full-time landlord. It's completely free, and it's designed to be the natural next step from everything that you watch in this video. So if you're serious about building real, lasting wealth through real estate, that's your logical next step. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.